Episode 5. Joan distracted me while Josie opened the door, and Jane unclapped my seatbelt while Emily accelerated and pushed me out of the car at the same time. I scratch up both my arms and my legs. I bounce my head in the road and groan as I skid to a halt. Emily shouts as she drives away, while the triplets laugh. Now you will fit in perfectly with the rogues. So damn childish. What are they? 4 years old or what? Sigh. I saw everything. Are you okay, Nora? Ben's voice is heard, and I jump slightly as I realize that he was closer than I thought. I turn around and look up just to stare right up at a fully shifted Lycan. They are huge. Ben's Lycan are gray, and his eyes are black as he looks down at me. I feel for my wolf, but she just yawns at him, bored. Ben? Wow, your Lycan is huge. I am impressed. What? Oh, right. I was on a run when my Lycan sensed that your wolf was closed, and he guided me here, and I both saw and heard what those girls did to you. So, if you excuse me, Ben said, and without effort lifted me up in his arms. I yelped from the sudden movement, but put my arms around his neck, well, almost anyway, when he suddenly started running towards the mansion. We come into the backyard, and I notice Andre standing there with a pair of shorts. He smiles when he notices us, and I smile back at him. Nora, you are finally here, but why are you hurt when you come to us? Come here so I can help and treat your wounds, Andre says and holds out his arms for me. But before I could protest and explain that I don't need help, Ben handed me over to Andre and took the shorts from him. Fascinating, I watched as Ben shifted back, and I felt a bit sad over the fact that I most probably wouldn't ever be able to shift. Don't be sad, Nora. You will shift one day, I promise. But right now, please stop gawking at Ben, or Daniel will be sad. He likes you a lot, and I think he would like to choose you as his chosen mate. Andre tries to comfort me. Wait, what? But he can't take me as his chosen mate. I will die if he marks me, I say and stare at Andre. Yeah, we know. But there are ways around that. We have all agreed to take you with us to the Lycan kingdom tomorrow night, so you will never be rogue. Ben explains, and I stare at him. Happiness bubbled up inside of me, and I felt a tear slip down my cheek. Andre and Ben walked inside with me and stopped in the kitchen to tend to my wounds. While Ben walked to the bathroom to fetch a towel and Andre worked on getting the gravel out of my wounds, I noticed that the place was ominously quiet. Where are the others? I ask just as Ben comes back with a small green towel and a jar. Oh, they are waiting for you outside, but we should hurry because Daniel is beyond pissed off, Andre says while Ben takes some balm from the jar and starts to tend to my wounds. I feel my wounds start to tingle and the skin gets warm. I looked at them and noticed them closing way faster than I have ever healed before. I gape at the sight of it before looking at Andre and Ben. It's homemade. You will probably feel a little bit of a high a bit later, but maybe not. We will see, Ben says while Andre chuckles and I nod. I was just about to say that it would be fun, but I closed my mouth as a high-pitched scream rang out. I jumped down from the table and almost crashed right into Ben as he didn't move. What was that? What is going on? I ask almost in panic and look around. Yeah, come and hold on to me if you want, and I will show you, Andre sighs and holds out his arm, which I take. I like touching someone that doesn't haughty me or treat me like I'm a vermine. We walk out of the front door, and I gasp at the sight before me. Daniel, Gray, and Lucas have all shifted while the others stand around and look angry. Before them are the triplets and Emily kneeling on the ground in absolute terror. I release Andre and walk up to the brown Lycan that my wolf tells me is Daniel, and I touch his arm gently. He turns his head away from Emily and looks down at me, and for a moment it feels like time is standing still, and it's just the two of us. What are you doing out here like this? I thought I was going to show you guys around, I ask with a smile. But before he could answer me, Emily's annoyingly, sickly sweet voice laced with terror was heard. Nora, you. Help. Us. Or I will. Tell my dad about this, she stuttered. Then mind linked us and told us what they did to you, so you see, Daniel here got real angry and lost control of his Lycan. When the brats came onto the grounds, he forced them into submission right here. Linus explained in a boring but angry voice. I turn my head and glare at Ben. I would have handled this myself, but no, of course he couldn't do that. Sigh. Ben just stared at Emily in shock, and I looked at Emily, but she kept her eyes on me. I will be damned if they aren't mates. Not way in hell that I will move to the Lycan kingdom now. I sigh and crouch down and hold my head in my hands. Daniel bends down and picks me up in his arms, and once again I am in the arms of a Lycan. Yoo-hoo-ree, is this why? You aren't helping us. Have you had sex with all of them? Slut. Emily spits out through gritted teeth. She earns herself a loud ringing of growls as all the guys growl at her, including Ben. She lets out a scream when she is smashed with their auras, and the triplets cry even harder. Emily snaps her head up and looks around until her eyes land on Ben, and she all but screams. Mate. Now everything became quiet, and all the guys stare at Ben, wondering what he will do. Ben growls loudly and shifts into his Lycan and takes off to the forest. Well, he will have a hard time now, deciding, Andre say. Yeah, but please tell the brats to piece us off so we can spend some time with Nora instead. I can't stand the sight of these idiots any longer. Linus says and points at Emily and the triplets. Daniel growls even higher, and all four girls get the hint as they run to the car and drive off. Daniel carries me inside still in his Lycan form, which is huge. But my fear dies out as he seems just as comfortable in this form as well. He walks past things without destroying them. Daniel puts me down gently on the lounge before he wanders off, and Linus comes and sits down next to me. He will get dressed and then he will come back, he says, and I nod. Where are the others? I ask him. Well, some are chasing Ben and the others are trying to find our lost friends. They were supposed to meet them this morning, but they wanted to see that you were okay first. Linus explains, and I just look at him in shock. Oh, okay. Can I ask why Ben reacted so strongly against Emily and the mate bond? I thought it was really rare for you guys to find your mates. I asked him as I was so confused by Ben's behavior. Ben's little sister was also bullied, and she died when she was gang raped by a pack of rogues. She was tricked by a couple of females in our pack, Daniel explains while he walks inside. I stare at him in horror. What is wrong with people? You remind Ben of his little sister, but not because of your appearance. You don't look alike, but your personalities are really similar, and she was also a bit weird, Linus says, and Daniel chuckles.
Full story is available at novelpalace.com. Click the link in the comment section to get it free.